All right, everyone. Welcome to 2023's Thanksgiving Streamathon, Part 3 of 5 or Part 3 of 3, depending on how you're counting it. It's Part 3 of 3 of my CTA and Metra UP West line stuff from 2007. We'll be follow up in part of this next part of the same trip with going out to Brighton Park Interlocking on its last days of operation. For any of those who missed it, I went out with my New York City friend. We came out on the lake shore, messed around in Chicago a little bit, went down to Brighton Park after staying somewhere that I can't remember, maybe Priceline Hotel, and then returning on the Capital Limited. Not sure when I'm going to get to the other bits and pieces. You'll see them at some point. I think one of them is going to be hopefully a one-day or a two-day. I'll be competing with another trip I took out to Dallas in the same year. So it's going to be we got some fun times coming up. So anyway, I don't want to keep you too long. These have been going a little bit longer. So last time we left off, we were in Metra's Tower, Western Ave Interlocking, a.k.a. Tower A2, a.k.a. Whatever you want to call it. This is the junction of the UP West, the old CNW, what's the UP Geneva sub, the CNW Western Main, with the passenger Mount Milwaukee Road passenger line. We've went through the main part of the interlocking, and today we are transitioning through it and on our way to Lake Street CNW station. So, just again to pick up on some bits and pieces. Up through a couple of years ago, Western Ave had featured PR position lights. For anyone who is wondering, why are there PR position lights like north and west of Union Station? That was because, again, this is just to read up what was called the Panhandle route, the PR main line via Logansport. The one when you were leaving Pittsburgh would go via the Panhandle of West Virginia via Columbus and Indianapolis. That main line would reach up behind Chicago and then enter Union Station from the north as opposed to from its more traditional south. So we have just moved through. Here we are at Tower A2 where the two lines cross. So there's two parts here. We have the main sort of crossing part. Then there's an intermediate signal bridge. And then there's this western part that applies to the old PRR. And that's what we're seeing right here. In our diagram, that's not the diagram. In our diagram, we can see that the signal. So these signals were modified sometime after 1992 to create more bidirectional operations. In this case, we're looking at the 76L, 78L, 74L, and then it still is a dwarf, the 72L. So 76, 68, 74, 72. 76, 68, 74, 72, along with the along with it's sort of hard to map this here. The 83 switch and the 81 switch, which has been truncated. These Western Ave industrial tracks have been ripped out, although there's still a little bit left. But that Conrail part is no longer there. You can see it says to Logansport on this 1992 diagram. Yesterday, I was rediscovering how to deal with removing this Metra green tint. Generally, you use your color, again, to reiterate, you use your color balance, you make it cooler, also reducing the amount of purple, and you can come in by hand and get rid of additional blue and green until it looks the way you want it to. Here we also have Metra, a double-headed, pretty long Metra morning. I guess this would have been in the morning, but I'm not sure when this was. Maybe these are afternoon trains coming in. But here we have number 124, and hold on here. Let me see if I can get a better view of this guy. 124 and can't quite see it. Oops. Nope, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that exact one. But I tried. Anyway. So let's see if we can remember this. What was that? 76L, 68L, 74L, 72L. The 83 switch and the 81. There we go. How's that looking? A little more blue than it was originally, but a little less green. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, that's right. I need to add a little bit more red in there. That looks better. Here again, we have the 83 switch and the 72L. That looks nice. Note that the Tolerate 2 in this picture and in the future, currently still pneumatic, one of the last in the Chicago area, with your A5 switch machines. Here's your valves. I'm not sure if there's actually any others that I can recall of pneumatic interlockings in Chicago, which is a real shame if that's true. Yep. So here for whatever reason, I don't have this. This got cut with some horizontal signals. I think that those are still there. Looks like it. Might need to drop in and check. Horizontal signals again are a CNW or one of the CNW trademarks for horizontal color lights. Not entirely clear why they were a thing. But they were. Let's just see if this guy still is. I can get down in there. Yep, they're still there. Signal 24. 2.4 miles from the Lake Street Terminal. There you go, looks reasonable. Sorry, these Metra ones are a little fiddly to try to make them look right, to get rid of that tint. Note that this is still Rule 251 territory on CNW. If you look at our diagram we've got up here, the pair of tracks on the left were originally freight with the right being passenger, and each then being in the CNW's reverse direction fashion. Those two tracks on the left are typically used for access to the yard today. Because the UP, this line only serves one Metra line, so they don't really need 4 tracks going on to serve the UP West line. So they can take these two rightmost tracks here, one there, and that's for going into for the passenger, and these ones on the left are in and out, or purely for yard moves. Just need to get that. Track 3 clear. There we go. Now, at this point, I might not need all of these. I think I used this one. That looks like the next one I have. All right. Sorry, it's tough to get these balances right. All right, there we go. And here we have the same train, just not zoomed in. What did I do back in the day? Did I cut this or not? Nope, looks like I did it. Note that truss bridge in the background. That used to be the old CTA, an old CTA L line. It was part of the Logan Square Garfield Park Douglas line. A few members of the old line. That was removed, but it still is in use as a signal bridge. Wow, like whatever that L was, it's not a lot of not much remains of it anymore. There we go. And then we have, yeah, there's your signal bridge and all sorts of additional Metra trains there. So this is UP West signal number 16, in addition to number 108 and 43. So let's see how I'm going to try to capture this. I'm just going to get most of it. Yep, that's probably about as good as I'm going to get here. 1 second. 8500 series. I'm just going to guess it's an 8500. That works. So the interesting thing is, how do you number a signal bridge when it's working on two different lines? Probably whichever train I'm on. This one's an odd duck. I bet I cut it. Nope, there it is. And these are all the easy ones, too. I should find what the name of that... Chicago L bridges. Oh, Garfield Park line. Is that it? Maybe not. Sorry, just checking here. Garfield Park. All right, 1 second. That works. Yeah, they're a little purpley, but these Metra ones are never quite perfect. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's a pretty heavy duty signal bridge there. So spanning 7 tracks, 6 of them. Yeah, 4 and 3, so 7 tracks total. All of them, I think, using L and W signals. Metra likes that off-brand arrangement. Oops. All right, let's try to deal with this. Do we need less color? Probably. Okay, that looks like the best I can do. See, I'm making the decision to make these a little more blue than the old one where I left them a little more green. So the question is what are they on the opposite track? They are the 002 signals. Yeah, there's so much going on in these. So fortunately I do have a more up-to-date, where is that? Bunch of Milwaukee Road ones. I think from 2001. Yeah, Milwaukee North. We'll see if I have that. Probably don't, because I always do video. Right there it is. Yep, it's the 020 stuff. Signal 020. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, that's good. And there we have what I used to call Racine. It's not it's at Racine Avenue. I always thought that interlocking was called Racine. It's that famous signal bridge going into Union Station. Used to get lots of people out there. I did do a day out there in 2012, no less. I just want to make sure I call it by the right name. Yeah, it's Morgan Street interlocking. But I would always know it as Racine, just because that's what the crossing is, even though the interlocking is a lot longer. Unfortunately, again, these were also replaced by color lights. Oh, there you go. That worked out pretty well. That's the 6R signal that's clear. And we're closing in on Lake Street. Well, we're not Lake Street quite yet, but we are closing in on the terminal. So here we are at the 012 signal bridge, 1.2 miles from Chicago Lake Street, John Hancock Tower there in the background. Metra train. Every time you come in on these tracks, it's definitely a real treat with all the train movements going around. Perfect. Oh, you can see what I did back in the day. I modded the signals to show them. I don't do that anymore, but I used to jazz them up. Yeah, I don't like doing that. Here we go. This is UP West signal number. I mean, I really wanted to use more of these old file names. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. That just cleaned right up. Look at that. Oh, so nice. So much nicer than that green crap you get. What's really funny is that, oh no, he would be going inbound. So here, what are we doing here? 012. Clear signals on track 3. Both the track 3 and track 1 can display approach diverging. And there's a reason that we're now into sort of replace safe trend signals. You'll see that in a second. Of what's going on here. Oh, we got a better, an interesting view here. It's also nice that Metra tends to keep this old signal bridges even when they're doing major re-signal work. Oh, look at that. Cleaned right up. Right up. And we can do one of those. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that 143 is moving with me. So there you go. Okay, I'm going to keep this name, but I'm going to make the first one, qualify the first one, and then resave it with this. And now we have 143 here. No, this is one I skipped. I seem to be skipping a bunch of these. Oh, wait. No? We seem to have a whole bunch of street that's out of order. Well, it doesn't matter. I got it. Sometimes my older photos will get weird. You know, we'll start missing stuff. Or it's like all the way at the bottom or all the way at the top. Yeah, there it is. So this is coming up on Halstead, interlocking name for the street. So, hold on, I'm almost done here. I'll check if there's any questions. Yep, looks like we're good. Yep, I got a lot of Dart stuff for Dallas, the McKinney Ave trolley, and some non-Dart things, including TRE RDCs. Yeah, that whole area is really a hoot. Even my videos, I'll usually catch a whole bunch of fun stuff like that too. All right, so the thing I wanted to show, if I can find it. I don't seem to have this up. I had it up yesterday. Oh, that's right. We're past A4. We're approaching what used to be Clinton Street, and I had it used to be the companion tower to Lake Street. You'd leave Lake Street, then you'd pass Clinton Street. Clinton Street was on the curve, had a lot of double slips, really complex track work. In the 90s, they demoed Clinton Street and rebuilt the whole thing. But the whole the issue wasn't just the fact that it was an old tower. It's that explicitly it was. I know I've seen pictures of this one. Let me try to find it. That Lake and Clinton are very close to each other on a pretty gnarly curve. Let's see if I can find a good photo of it. Because the diagram is wild, if you can just see it. Yeah, unfortunately it's been demolished, but I don't want to... Here it is. It looks like I'll be at 1 second. Let me just, it'll take a second to load. I'll let that load up in the background there. But it's important for the point I'm trying to get across here. Oh, come on. Here it is. So there's the CNW Terminal. To the extent, unfortunately, I can't get stuff. Clinton Street, again, you had interlockings on both. You have the 4-track line to the north and northwest, and the 4-track line to the west. Both would have a series of double subswitches. They converge on this curve. More curved switches, which again, those are an absolute maintenance nightmare. At the time where they were like, at a certain point, they were just becoming a major issue. Slow speeds, high maintenance. And the result was they moved, I know this took a little while here. They relocated what used to be all in, so there is still a Clinton Street interlocking, but it consists of 1 diamond and 2 switches. That's it. That's all they left of Clinton Street. Oh, I gotta move this guy. Sorry, that's the old Clinton Street tower right there. Oh, there's that famous chocolate factory that still gets rail service. So how did they replace all that approach interlockings? They blew them out. So they replaced them with 2. Erie on the north and northwest line, and Halstead on the west. Both of these are on flat, straight tangent track. They can use higher speed switches, so trains no longer have to come to this curve and stop and work their way through the terminal. They can make higher speed movements all the way coming up on a brand new, way cheaper to maintain area here. And as you can see, you have room for parallel movements. So there's a double pair of a full double pair of crossovers there, and then 1 counter crossover. And on the Erie, which is the one to the north, I'm betting you're going to see the same thing. Oops. Yeah, there's a parallel one coming out. So from our point of view, we start seeing it here far ahead of us. Wish I could see what that number is. Maybe I can zoom in. Nope, can't see it. Not even close. So remember, it's track 1, 3. I'm thinking that's going to be 2 and 4. Huh, that's an interesting question there of what track is what. One, two, okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Straight across, sorry. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're seeing here is Halstead far away. And we're displaying approach, 2 clears, and a stop. And here we have a better view of that signal bridge. Again, this is thoroughly modern. There was nothing here for it to replace. I mean, it replaced Clinton Street, but there wasn't much. That wasn't quite in the same location. Yeah, the worst thing for vintage signals is when not only is it a matter of updating it to something newer, but you've got to actually do a relocation, an overlapping relocation, where you need new signal bridges in different locations that you find them. That's when the old stuff will almost certainly get discarded or abandoned in place occasionally. And you can see these are not Darth Vader type. They're normal color lights. These are, again, this is a 1990s project to reduce congestion in the Clinton Street area. I forget when Clinton. I know that Clinton Street Tower closed in the 90s. And here you can see the 2 parallel facing point ladders and the 1 trailing point ladder. And then the 2 facing ladders in the opposite direction. I mean, not the opposite direction, like further along, not zoomed in and bad. Also note the modern air blast snow removal or point heating, so you don't need to set the tracks on fire, which gets everyone talking every year. Oh, the tracks are on fire. Never freaking fails every year. I'm not sure what. I'd have to look at the timetable. I don't know what these crossovers are rated at. I'm betting. I mean, they're at least 30s, but they're probably 40, 45 miles an hour crossovers, up from which was almost certainly 10 mile an hour ones at that curve. What on earth? It's like half these photos are just totally out of alignment. Yeah, there's something really weird with these guys. It's like I saved them with 8 different names and didn't notice. What on earth? Well, I'm absolutely glad to I'm glad to be able to redo all this. This is too important to leave to being half-assed. Here we have auto signal 6 on the back side of the westbound signal bridge. Yeah, I wish I had a better anything on the CNW station. That diagram. That's one that always eluded me. So here we have what's now the current Clinton Street interlocking. Its claim to fame, besides the diamond, is this double cantilever signal, and it's only on the tracks 1 and 2 on each leg there. Track 2 is approach. There we go. Oh, maybe I didn't need that one. Sometimes I'll hit an actual duplicate, and that was looking like might have been one. That's all right. So here's the one I used. This looks like this one here. I'm not entirely sure. I'll use them both. Oops. I do try to consolidate wherever possible. Fewer files is always better, but if it's not a true duplicate or an inferior duplicate, I'll tend to keep them both, just in case. And here we are. This is the old Clinton Street area. Notice the sharpness of the curve. Not really much going on here anymore. Especially can't see it in this angle, except that one diamond, 2 switches, the cantilever mast, and this giant 6-track signal bridge. This is Bridge B. So as you approach Lake Street, the whole track stuff sort of starts breaking down. So since you're so close to it, it's like you've already passed like signal 006 or 002. Wait, was it just that 006? So for simplicity, they just renamed them in the terminal area, Bridge A and Bridge B. This is Bridge B. I'm sure that goes back. I know that's not a new Metra thing. Oh, there's your little drawbridge there. That's the guy, where does this go? That would service the Sun Times building. Had its own little drawbridge just to deliver paper to the Sun Times. Probably also to get into Merchandise Mart. There's one of the famous CNW Terminal's light engines. There are always some puttering about there on their way to get fueled or serviced during the midday. What the flying frack? Okie doke. Let's see what we got. There it is. So I'm not sure how to label this. Is a Lake Street Bridge B. They are autos. They are plated. So that is technically Clinton Street. Now again, this is technically still UP trackage. I'm labeling it as Metra, but it's almost certainly going to be passing to Metra soon, so I was kind of ahead of the curve on that one. I was mislabeling it before it was cool. That's called, it's a successful version of astroturfing. Here we go. You can see Bridge B, lead 1. And there is Bridge A. Entry to Lake Street interlocking and the end of the CNW. Or beginning of the CNW, depends on your perspective. Yeah, it's amazing that CNW was an independent railroad into the 1990s. Shame that UP got its mitts on it. Love that railing with the gas line running from this terminal to feed the point heaters. So what's that second track? Yeah, so notice that track 4 was displaying an approach. By the time we rounded the curve, the operator was able to pull up the signal for us. So that's how tightly they work things here. Before I zoom in, you can see, if I don't get another one, that is indeed Bridge A. And you'll see these sort of Bridge A, B, C things. You see that in D.C. You see that at the LaSalle Street station. You don't really see it at Chicago Union. They do have something like that, but they have more interlocking names associated with them. Last of this one, there is the CNW station. It's converted into something they call like the Ogilvy Transportation Center. Don't buy that; it's bullshit. Stick with CNW station. The You have to figure out how to adjust this one. Does it need to be more blue or less purple? All right, that works. Oh boy, we're gonna get into the hard stuff soon. I might be missing a couple photos actually. I gotta go dig them out. They're in a different folder because I'm seeing them in my original thumbnails bit here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh boy. All right, I gotta pull those out at some point. Anyway, let's hear any questions. These are going a little faster than before, so that's good. No, not wait. No, not as wait. Yes. So there's not a provision of it. Metra's going to get there eventually. They would have to come in, but yes, they could come down the Milwaukee Road, Track 3, and they can take their double slip switches that would get them down there physically from the Tower A2 crossing. But they need to have pilots. That's the issue, is that no one's qualified on that territory. They'd have to get Metra pilots. I mean, currently it's UP. I think it's going to be a better chance if when UP is able to transfer operation into to Metra. All right, so I gotta move over some additional photos here. Apparently. Hold on. This just takes a second. Yep, it's all Chicago stuff. I'm not sure if we're going to do this publicly or not or what. There's some Chicago things in it. But we will see. I feel like some of these I've already done. But I'm not sure. They could be stuck in Brighton Park somewhere. Let me check real quick. Oh, here they are. I used to do more of this stuff with mixing and matching photos from a single trip into categories, but I kind of got out of that. So I'm not quite used to what I did here. Now I try to keep them more temporally separated. All right, everything's together. We might have to go a little long today. All right, that shouldn't screw anything up. We just might have a couple extra photos here at the end. But they're quick. They're CTA ones. They'll go fast. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh. Oh, I hate... Well, hopefully I have some idea of where to start with this stuff. We are right here. Oh, that's not a bad one. What on earth? Okay, there it goes. First off, I need to make sure that I mark this as Lake Street CNW. Because there's an Amtrak Lake Street. Fuck, come on. There we go. Alrighty. Here we have a nice view of Bridge A. Oh, here, these are cool. Those little yellow jobbers are fixed ATS inductors. So what I mean by that, oh, come on. I guess that's all right. Okay, fixed ATS. The way that the GRS ATS inductive IAA intermittent inductive ATS system worked is that you had a shoe that had two metal coils, and there'd be a receiver on the train that would emit a fixed oscillating signal, and if there was an active element, in the shoe, that if the signal was cleared, the receiver would either get a signal reflected back, or it would choke it. If not, it would set up an inductive whatever that would trigger a sympathetic eddy current that it could pick up. So a totally passive piece of metal like this will set off the ATS shoe. These are fixed ATS; they will always go off. Like I said, the active ones would have an element that would. So if you look at an ATS shoe, it's soft, non-magnetic metal with two metal plates, and those are connected. And then again, if there's something if there's a relay that closes that allows a magnetic choke that will attenuate a signal that's transmitted into the first shoe. It's an interesting. It's a very inventive system that unfortunately is going by the wayside as PTC allows it to be removed. But it's still in use in some places like the New Jersey Transit River Line as an absolute stop system, as a magnetic trip stop. Really, again, it's really neat technology. UP West trains, that line had ATC on it for part of it. In fact, for a while it had a ATC without fixed waysides between Elmhurst, between one interlocking in West Chicago. UP eventually erected waysides, and then they dumped the ATC once PTC was in operation. That's its own can of worms. Trying to figure out how to get this one going here. Yep. Wish I knew what these tracks were. So there's one of them that has what did I just click on? All right. See how all of these have very, very low resolution. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this looks like it's lead. Okay. All right, there we go. Never a dull moment at Lake Street, that's for sure. Well, I don't know about today. Lake Street CNW track 2. So we have an eastbound route plus a train, and we have the little semaphores are there. Oh boy, these are nice. Wow. I think that train is parallel. This semaphore is in the process of closing right there, and that one's still clear for us. Man, this is really cool with the semaphores. Oh, there's a fuel pad here too. I've been there during the day of the rush. They'll start pulling trains off to go fuel them because they have a fuel facility like right there. Pretty crazy. This is where I will now find that I have absolutely no ability to figure out what those signals are. I have this guy, but that's not for farther. 126, 129, 132, 193, 206. Yeah, just not quite there. And on this one, this is about as much. See, this guy's got great detail on this Moffat Tunnel fan plant control thing, but like none on the CNW station. Yep. Dear God, it's all I want is a fucking diagram of this thing. All right. So one thing I can do is check my towers. Lake Street. And let's just see if I manage to catch, because the semaphores have the numbers. You can see you can see the old the CPLs they were briefly using. But they have the numbers on them on the back, so it's entirely possible they do have those the switch numbers for those semaphores. I took a walk around it at one point. There you go. Yeah, I just have the other ones. Alright, just checking all my sources here. Sorry about that. Just trying to do my best. The good news is that there's really only one line of semaphores here that I'll ever have, so I can just describe them that way. I'm going to just save this one in like a large format too. I don't often do this, but this is kind of worth it. One sec. I also need to adjust the file names to to use underscores because that's what I did, even though it's non-standard. I've been following the convention. There it goes. Okay, that's what we can do here. Almost got this. There it goes. All right, that's a good enough description. I might also just chop a little bit off there since this is an oversized one. There it goes. There we go. And here we have... Oh, wow, it still has one of the CPLs. And that's going to be for track number 1. This part of the interlocking was the last one, to be sort of re-signaled. I'm not sure what the point was. Probably to get rid of the damn semaphores. But they're super amazing. I mean, last working mainline semaphore dwarfs, and they were right in the heart of Chicago for all these years. And this is 2007. They'd been, I think this interlocking was installed in like the 1900s. I can look that up, but whenever it is, well over 100 years, or close to it. Here we have the number 33 and something else, double slip switch. Sometimes double slips are, for those of you who don't know, double slips always come in pairs. Even though there's might be as many as 4 point machines attached to them, there's usually, in essence, a double slip switch can always be played by 2 levers. It has 4 possible combinations: straight, diagonal, diverge right, and diverge left. So that's, knowing your binary, all you need is 2 in and out normal reverse levers to make that happen. So you only need 2. You only need 2 lever numbers on a double, to represent a double slip. So but since double slips are notoriously hard to fit in a single photo. Sometimes I'll only have one of the switches visible. So what do I do in that situation? Well, oftentimes I'll just go with that, best I can do. So that's my solution here. These, unlike the other interlockings we've witnessed today, do have, like the new ones, Halstead and Erie, will have direct burner point heaters. You can see those are igniter boxes to light the direct burner bars for the point heaters, and that's what that giant yellow pipe was. That's a gas supply. Now those are going to feed those forced air heater ones. What on earth? All right. All right, nice. Next, cool. Wow, amazing. When this had to have been coming up on the end of the day. Because just like so many whatchamacallits there. So many of those F40s ready for the afternoon rush. That cleaned up pretty nicely. So I'm just trying to figure out how to announce this. Are these 5Hs? Yeah, they are. No, they're 5Gs. All right, here we go. Oh, man. One sec. I'm just assembling 36 and 64. That's the best I can really do on this one. Oh, wait, that's right. Hold on. All right, that works. Yep, just me trying to get everything going here. And finally, so these guys are going to be easy. because I have these is the one part I have on the diagram, and they're labeled here too. So as you can see, we have the 80, what is that? 80 and lever 79 dwarfs, and then because I have this other part of the this one part of the diagram, oh, is that there? No, I guess that's not the one I'm looking at. I guess I'm still one short. All right, well, whatever. It's probably that's probably the one I'm looking at over there. The last sort of line of signals. All right. Anyway. I struggle to label these things. Yeah, so anyway, I apologize. This is sort of where it sort of grinds to a halt. But I think I can get this one. Oh, by the way, there's the L trackage that I had photos from earlier. All right, there we go. That's a little bit better. And almost every track is full. With the Metra, I think every track is full. We're going into that one over there, and that's the only one that's open for us. All right. It's like a full house at the CNW Terminal. They've got to be getting ready for rush hour here. All right, here we go. Alright, that's good enough. Anything with a semaphore dwarf, I'm making sure I label that in the file name for easy searching. Make sure I spell it. Yeah, that's right. And here we have a close-up of the 79 dwarf semaphore. Same general mode. There's a bunch of these in some museums. I know there's one at the Seashore Trolley Museum in Maine. They have doing a little thing. Not exactly this kind, but they would. Many of these would have little blades on them. By blades, I mean like an actual, like, instead of they would be sort of a restricting only one. And instead of having the full disc with 3 positions, there would be a 2-position one. There you go. Man, this was state of the art back in 12. So yeah, that's a pretty popular signal to have in museums and private collections. They're easy to wire. They're easy to put in your garden. I don't know the model of it, but it exists. Alright, don't mind me. I think that did I cut any part of this? No, I did not. But it's very dim, so I gotta brighten that up a little bit. Yeah, I need to make sure I use that clarify filter appropriately because it does help with a whole bunch of these. At the risk of desaturating the photo, you get into this desaturation loop. The haziness is from the window. And now finally we're at the left. Now this is interesting because they have signals in the middle of these double slips. That is just weird. And this is where I can finally use my diagram. And it's true to life that you can see the signals in the middle of a double slip. Really, really baffling. So this one we have the 91 signals giving us I don't know if it's slow clear or what, but in CNW is UP based, so there's no real slow clear. 91, 95. The next one down there is 99. And the two D slips are the 105, 103, and the 109, 111. Okay, so let's see what I can get going here. Probably some of the most intricate. I said normally when I'm not streaming, I just sort of buckle down and do this all on my own. Get a little bit more tilt going on it. At least is the one part of the interlocking where I have some actual track diagrams that I can read. All right, what do we look? 91 and 99. Second one right there is the number 95. The one in the reverse is the 126 and the 129. Although we can't see the 129. The two D slips. The 105. Oh, there's 3 levers on the D slips. Oh, that's just fantastic. Yeah, like I said, so GRS machines were way less simpler than Union switch and signal. On a Union switch and signal machine, each double slip, like I said, would have 2 levers. On these, they need an extra lever for the movable point frog, even though now oftentimes that movable point frog would be that when let's say you had a crossover on a GRS, instead of having 2 pistol grips, which they totally could, they would often sister the 2 levers next to each other with 1 pistol grip, moving both at the same time. I don't know if they did that here, but like on a GRS machine, it was 1 lever, 1 function. You had a signal with 3 heads, 3 pistol grips. You have a movable point. You have a double slip that has 3 point machines, 3 pistol grips. I'm looking at these. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, it's a mess. That's why I'm a big US. GRS was garbage. So 105, 103, 10. Okay, 103, 104, 105 D slip plus the 109, 110, 111. There we go. We got it. We finally got one the way it should look. A giant thing in numbers that accurately describes the photo. And we have 149, 126, and 134 there in the distance, but I'm not going to bother with adding them. I could, but whatever. Hopefully I got a photo of them. There it is. So good news is I can now start to interpolate, not interpolate, infer the D-slip numbers just on one of them because it's clear that they're in order. So the 114 here, yeah, 109. It's going to be the 112, 111. Sorry, 111. Wait, 111's already there. There's 111. So this one is going to be 112, 12, 13, 14. We know that's 114. And that's the 99, and I don't know what that switch is. Just can't quite see it. I really want to poke around CNW station once. I was out there in 2003, height of 9/11, and I actually had some employees talk to me, and it was fine, but I've never really gotten back out there. I've always a little worried about going to the end of the platform with a camera. We'll have to see how it goes. With UP on the way out, maybe it's better to do that sooner rather than later. UP, I think, is way friendlier towards rail fans than Metra. If Metra takes over, it's going to be a major loss because UP will leave the cab cars open during off-peak times, and Metra does not. Will be a major loss. Yeah, I have no idea what other switch that's going to be. Oh, that's not the 90, 99. That's 93. I was looking at that wrong. Uh, 149, 126, and 134. 149, 126, and 134. And pulling in past 134. Now, which switch is this? That's going to be what, 113? Yeah, so that's going to pair with that, and it looks like it's 113. Although I said that they don't usually pair, though. Ouch. Sometimes they do, but actually I'm not sure they do at all. Just can't read what that says. Yeah, this is where if I was on the platform, I could just go up and look at that. Yeah, the platforms are both empty and patrol. It's odd. It's very hit or miss in Chicago. Question is, what track is this? I think this is still track 2. Oh, you know what I have? I got that one additional track chart right here. $115 switch, 127 signal, 133 and 131. Oh, thank goodness. $127 and $133. Now, each of these end-of-platform ones have a special little marker thing that indicates that to the engineer that the train is ready to depart. When I was showing my photos earlier, like I said, I have a couple of photos from the end of the platform that I got that one time. I was with my old ex-girlfriend at the time, so maybe that was the reason we didn't get harassed. I just want to show you if I can find them. There it is. That little USNS jobber star. It's like a little pair of stars. That's the OK to depart indication. That guy right there. All right. Sorry that took so long. But we're almost done. We're on the last set here. Oh boy, it's CTA Howard stuff. All right. Uh-oh. Let's see if anybody has any questions after that ordeal. When was that employee-owned era? I mean, I can look it up, but you can let me know. I guess, usually I'm only there, so it's sort of like you don't tend to ask, because if they say no, then you're SOL. If I was more in the area and I had multiple opportunities to go hang out, I would probably try it more. I always have to ask that question, well, do I ask and get shut down, or do I just try to sneak it? All right, so here we are back at, this is the Howard Terminal and Yard. It was never up there before it got rebuilt. Again, lost the pneumatics, lost all the janky whatever. I'm never quite sure if that is I think that counts as a tower. But it's a rapid transit tower. That's not really the whatever. I gotta go find my CTA towers. All right. Let's see what this guy says. Towers and junctions. Do we see? I have one for Howard. Howard. Yards. When was it redone? 1991. So much stuff was done in like 1991 in Chicago. It's crazy. Yep, that's the tower. You can see the little jobber right there. Sorry, I'm just reading. All right. Yep, that's the tower. It's a yard office too, but it is what it is. All right, I'm just gonna go wide on this. I don't have to do all the crazy whatchamacallit anymore. Color corrections. Yay! All right, cool. Next. I think I cut this one, so all right, hold on. Sometimes if I saw something that was soft like that, I just cut it, but in this case, I'm not going to do that. All right. What do we got here? Do I know a number on that? Nope, just that those are 2400 series. All right, so boost this a little bit light. So there's two ways to depart. You can depart up and over the ramp. You can depart through the tunnel. The ramp is for the purple line going up to Evanston. The tunnel is for the yellow line going down to Skokie. Oh wait, there it is. It's 2583. Hold on. I might be able to get it on that. So that guy there is 2583, and I just need to find the number. There it is, 2544. Okay, I got the numbers. Thank gosh. 2544 plus 2583. Now the question is 2545. So the always question is, do they start with, so the series starts at 0, so that means if you see an even, the next one in that pair will be an odd. Yep, oh, I could have just gone to the next, cut to the next thing. Same thing. And he's going down toward the purple line right there. And the same thing, just with the last bit. By the way, that Purple Line Express, on the couple times I've ridden it, I'm not sure if they've changed the policy, but those Purple Line Expresses, because they, whatever their way that they would work, they would have the rear cab would be halved, so you could stand back there. It was pretty consistent. I don't know if they've changed it since then, but that's how I got some really good video on that going up to Evanston. And that is 2566. Love all the double slips here. Definitely cool. Maximum like deflection. Okay, and there's a Skokie Swift. Now, I think unfortunately I was able to ride the Skokie Swift when it was still doing the overhead catenary The old North Shore catenary out to Dempster had the automatic changeover. That got switched to third rail pretty early on, I think in the 2004 time frame. So I wasn't able to, so no, they no longer have the pantographs on the Swifts anymore. But I was able to ride one when they still had the wire. Looks like the Howard Station is in the middle of a rebuild here. So that's 3458. Close-up view of the Howard Tower there. Probably can get a way better zoom today, but that was pretty good for the era. All right. Here we have a red line at 2794. This is a Bud 2600 series set. Oh, whatever. This is the 53 switch. That's a 5G. You can tell because it has that. See that little bulge right there? That's where the motor controller is. If this was a 5E or F, it would be that much shorter. That would just go chonked right into there. Now, so remember your ABCs of GRS Model 5s. A's and B's have the slant motor. Those you don't see anymore. C's and D's have that brake housing. E's and F's are short. G's and H's are the long. And then they're all in pairs of dual control, single control. So A, C, E, and G are single control. B, D, F, and H are dual control. So this is a 5G with a trip stop. I have no idea where I am or what I'm looking at. $27.94. Good enough. And here we have an odd repeater signal. Yeah, so this is a typical, looks like a typical GRS setup. No L's and R's. Everything is singly labeled. Yeah, I don't know what number switch that is. But it's a repeater. they probably are highly sided, like New York City subway. Everything's assumed to be on the right, and if it's on the left, you're going to get it's going to have a repeater, or it's going to be labeled as a repeater. Yeah, I'm not even looking at what I had before. I know it. All right, this is interesting. This coming up next here. Blah, blah, blah. Come on, get me down here. Windows. Here you go. This is legitimately CTA Tower 12. Tower 18 is that one you saw before. It's that little box at the junction. Everybody knows it. This is Tower 12. It even says Tower 12. CTA has a lot of janky towers. In a relay box with a window. And a lot of them are staffed surprisingly frequently, especially at peak times. And this Tower 12 is there's your Chicago Loop. There's the famous, where is that? There's your famous Tower 18. There's the crossing, all the lines. There's that looks like a tower, acts like a tower, smells like a tower. The corollary to Tower 18 is Tower 12. It's a Y junction, looks like a trumpet. But where is it? Well, let's drop our little Google guy. There it is. That's Tower 12 right there. It's got some cables going down. That's it. That thing with a ladder. It's like a plastic. What do you call those things? Damn it! It's not letting me out from underneath the thingy here. And I'm like right under it. It looks like a porta potty. Crazy. Anyway, I caught it here this day with the door open. You can see the operator in there. I am pretty sure it's 24/7. It could be remote controlled during part of its operation. I don't know. Finally, I get to keep an existing file name. Let's see what we can always take a check what this guy's going to say. Tower 12, Raw Boss Van Buren. Used to be a real one in the middle of the. It used to be nice. Tower 18 used to be nice too. Yeah. Oh, they put little mini turbines on it for backup power. Cute. Oh, they're in the middle thing there. Uh, 1971, Tower 12 in the center. Relay house. Okay, it looks like it might be able to be automated with automatic car identification, with automatic train identification. Oh, here it is. A new tower was constructed, 1994, cantilevered, small hut. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out, when the heck this was, how much it's still manned. Wow, look at that giant relay hut they got there. Sorry. Oh, crap, it's going to go over 2 hours. Anyway, let me finish this out real quick. What the heck? There we go. So yeah, I can't tell when it's manned, but I believe it is for at least during peaks. And we're down to our last couple photos here. Yep, just gonna take these as is. Well, thanks for sticking with me. Sorry it went a little long. The Brighton Park ones will hopefully be a whole bunch better, but we will see. Yeah, if it wasn't for these last couple I had to add, it wouldn't be a huge issue. But that's why I've been starting earlier. All right, there we go. This is 2400 series train number 2520. Just trying to get these done. The last one was also a 2400 series number 2501. So that would have been the class car. So those were the first ones built. It's cool that I got a photo. I don't have the photo of 25. Sorry, it's not the first ones built. It's 2500. It would have been 2401. Anyway. And Orange Line train. So normally what I would have done is when I went to Brighton Park, I stripped out all the CTA stuff. Today, I would have left that in place, but I'm trying to keep up with match it to the old things here. Largely to avoid having photos wind up in two different places. And last one, thank you very much. It's just, I think from a coming through Tower 12. Again, doors open, guys in there, or someone's in there. How wide did I make this before? All right, pretty wide. And here we have a clear route on an orange line heading through Tower 12. All right, we are done. Thank you guys very much. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be going down to Brighton Park. So strap in and enjoy all of that. Let's see if we have any last minute questions. I don't know what I think that they have some high performance stuff that they can run. I don't think that they run any truly ancient stuff before the high performance fleet, but I think that they did keep some 2400s and 2000 and 2200s around. The turbines are backup power. Yes, I know that a bunch of them, like I know that Belmont is manned. The yards are, it's more than you think. especially during when they have to do crossover operations. They often put people out there. They didn't third rail it mainly just because of just to save the cost of doing so. They could directly use the yellow line with like very limited, with a limited budget. They could just run the trains without any modifications to the old North Shore trackage. So that's why they did it, and eventually they went out and put the stuff in. Just if it wasn't broken, they didn't need to fix it. All right. Anyway, thank you so much. I'm heading out. Have a great day, and I will be back tomorrow. The times might be a little bit later. I'm not sure what the deal is. I got to see how I feel. No reason to not be late, but I'll just figure it out. The amount of photos we're going to be running is going to be smaller. It's only going to be, I think, let's see here. Brighton Park. It's going to be about 40, so I can start at a little. I would be able to start it a little bit later, but we'll see. All right. You guys have a great day. Have a nice night. Later. Happy.